GM, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here at the first Near Foundation Town Hall following NEARCON 2023. For those of you that were there live and in person, it was pretty amazing. I hope you had a chance to rest and recover. And for those of you that weren't there, I sincerely hope that you were able to tune in via live stream. It was probably the most value-driven NEARCON we've had to date. Some of the most impactful announcements to come out of Near happened at this year's NEARCON. And for today's town hall, we've organized a very exciting agenda for us all today. So without further ado, I will go ahead and hand it over to Jack. We'll go in with an intro and we'll kick things off.
Thank you, Marcus. Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Special welcome to anyone who's tuning in for the first time. This is obviously our fortnightly town hall. It's where we update the community and the wider ecosystem on any hot topics that are going on across the Near ecosystem, any bits of news, any highlights from some of the amazing projects that we've got. And it's really, it's your event. And so, we run this every fortnight. So big welcome if you're coming for the first time. Also want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow for those who are celebrating. So as Marcus mentioned, we had this little thing the other week called NEARCON. You might have heard of it. It's obviously our flagship conference. It's the third one that we ran, and we held it in Lisbon. We had around 2,000 of you show up, and it was absolutely iconic. We had many ecosystem projects and community members attend and showcase all of the fantastic work of their projects that they're working on. We heard from over 220 incredible speakers from the Near community, but also beyond, across a broad range of topics. We had an amazing hackathon with hundreds of hackers and some absolutely fantastic submissions, some that you'll hear about later in this town hall. And then obviously we had good fun socializing at some of the great events and parties and meetups sort of around the event as also. My colleague Yadira will be going through NEARCON in more detail shortly, but I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who attended, everyone who contributed, all of our sponsors, our media partners, anyone really who helped pull this event together. It's not just done by a few people. It really is a community effort to make this as iconic as it was. You should all be really proud. And I do want to give a special shout out to the foundation events team led by Yadira. I think everyone's been just done a fantastic job and really showcased to everyone how strong and dedicated our community is. And like I say, Yadira and Abby will go through some of the stats and highlights later on. So obviously it's been 4 weeks since our last town hall. So we've had NEARCON, but you may have also seen we've had some pretty major announcements that have landed in the last 4 weeks. Firstly, if we click to the next slide, D-Dubs, obviously you couldn't have missed this. The Black Dragon has returned, and that is that Ilya, our co-founder, has returned to the Near Foundation as CEO. So big congratulations, Ilya, already making a huge impact. Secondly, we launched Near Data Availability, Near DA. That's offering Ethereum developers a low-cost, secure data availability layer. Really opens the door for enhanced modular blockchain solutions, ensuring scalability and cost efficiency for developers in the Near ecosystem and beyond. And we've had a host of partners across the ETH community that are already lined up to be using Near DA, including Madara by Starknet, Caldera, Fluent, and Movement Labs, just to name a few, really offering an 8,000 times cheaper solution than Ethereum, which makes a massive sort of impact for some of the partners that are leveraging Near DA. Next, we had Ilya on stage with Polygon Labs launching ZK-Wasm, which fuses zero-knowledge proofs with WebAssembly for enhanced blockchain scalability and decentralization. Obviously, this exciting research initiative will pave the way for greater trustless interoperability across the open web, obviously including between Near and the Ethereum community, and obviously brings Near closer and more aligned to everyone in the Ethereum community, which is obviously one of the key components of what we're trying to achieve with the blockchain operating system. We then have our EigenLayer partnership. This partnership, which will have basically providing fast finality for Ethereum rollups. It creates this fast finality layer, which will see transaction time shrink from minutes, as it is at the minute, to around 3 to 4 seconds. And obviously the cost of transacting on this new finality layer will be around 4,000 times cheaper than it currently is. So another great way of us sort of reaching out beyond the Near ecosystem and aligning to provide value to anyone who's really wanting to contribute to an open web. And then lastly, somewhat cryptically, Ilya live on stage hinted at some upcoming big news in AI. Obviously, Near first started as an AI startup before sort of getting involved in the blockchain space. And he told us to keep our eyes peeled for some big announcements that might be coming up in the future. So I just wanted to like tease that back out. So keep your eyes peeled. So obviously, all these announcements, as I mentioned, really reinforce Near as the blockchain operating system, showcasing our modularity, our chain abstraction, really trying to make things simple for people all over the open web to build, and obviously aligning with any ecosystem out there. And obviously you can find out about all of our announcements in more detail on our blog, YouTube, Twitter, you know the jig. So yeah, nothing's really happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, what can we expect from the agenda today? So obviously, I'm going to just do a quick introduction. I'm going to hand over to D-Dubs, who's going to go through our usual key KPIs. As I mentioned, we're going into the NEARCON recap with Yadira and Abhishek, and then the NEARCON Hackathon. We're going to hear from some of the winners of that hackathon, and Maria is going to go into that, and then we'll hand back over to Near Week for some key ecosystem updates. Next slide, please, D-Dubs. Okay, so obviously, as we always kick this off, obviously for the benefit of anyone who's new on these town halls. So we believe at Near, we believe in the open web, and just a bit of backstory to that. So we believe the current web is broken. It concentrates power, money, data, and governance into the hands of the few, and keeps the digital world from being a free and fair place for everyone else. And that means the majority of founders, developers, creators, users struggle. And that's why big tech companies continue to grow. And that's why at Near, we really want to create what we call an open web. We believe in an open web. So D-Dubs, next slide, please. What is an open web? It's an internet where people control all of their assets, data, and power of governance. And here at Near, we want to make the Near ecosystem the best place for founders to build in the open web, so we can really realize that vision and put the power back into people's hands. Next slide, please. So thank you. Handing over to David, who's going to go through some of our KPIs. Over to you, David.
Amazing. Thank you, Jack. And yeah, congrats to everyone for an incredible NEARCON. It was incredible to see so many of you there a couple weeks ago. So yeah, going into the KPIs. So first, monthly active accounts. This is still our North Star metric, and excited to say that we have surpassed 4 million monthly active accounts. So incredible job to everyone building and everyone using the Near, or involved in the Near ecosystem. And then zooming in a bit to daily active and comparing to some other chains, we now have just about 1 million daily active. I think we're at around 900,000 or so active per day. And compared to at least this peer set here, we are the most active blockchain on a consistent basis every single day. So again, amazing job to everyone here. One announcement, we are now live on Artemis. So Artemis compiles a bunch of data across different blockchains. It shows some really interesting comparison data, but also allows us to dig into individual chains. And so this past week, they announced that Near now is available on their activity monitor. So we can now dig in more and more to the Near blockchain and see what's actually going on. So here's a view of daily active accounts by category. And then also they have a trending section where we can compare top apps across multiple blockchains. And super excited to see that we have 2 of the top 3 apps out there. So incredible job, Kaiching and Sweat, having 2 of the top 3 across several blockchains. Cool. And then with that, a deeper dive into all things NEARCON. Yadira.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Let's pop over to the next slide. So to give you all just a run it back picture of what the vibe was at NEARCON, you can see here the main venue completely filled to the brim when Jordy and Ilya were on stage. Demo's famous Ilya onesie and tracksuit. Hopefully you got to see some of that. Next slide. Special shout out to our 3 venues. This was year 3 of NEARCON. 3 seemed to be the catchy number to lean into. Everyone really loved the hackerspace. A lot of the feedback we received this year is that everyone would like to see NEARCON under one roof. So we'll definitely take that into consideration for NEARCON 2024. But all venues, for being a distributed conference, had really great engagement. So thank you to everyone who was really a part of the entire ride of NEARCON and making an appearance, whether you were speaking or sponsoring. Hopefully you can look back at these pictures and be really proud. Next slide. So digging into the highlights, what are we most proud of for this year? Well, we had about 2,000 attendees, over 100 countries represented. We had 3 stages, really 4 tracks, which amounted into 220 speakers across those stages, amazing sessions. And if you haven't tuned into some of those sessions, all of the stages are live on YouTube. So during that week, we garnered over 9,000 people who tuned in. Definitely, if you want to run it back, check out some of those sessions. Highly encourage you to look to YouTube and also just spread the word, send it out to friends. I find that the NEARCON content is so great for people to have their introduction to NEAR and just kind of figure out where they might sit within our broader ecosystem. Jumping into the hackathon, we had over 750 applications, really fantastic. Our bounty pool was 160,000. And then when we look at NCon, we had over 5,000 transactions within the web app, and that surmounted to 250K NCon transacted. So, and for those of you who might know, might not know, when we first set out the NCon strategy, we really looked at it at a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 NCon to 1 euro. So that's a lot of money, definitely circulating. Next slide, please. And a bit of an echo slide here to what was just covered, but really just want to call out huge thank you to our sponsors like SailGP, Proximity, NDC. There's so many more I could really cover, but it was really about bringing more of the experience this year, showing what partners are doing behind the scenes, what value they're bringing to the NEAR ecosystem. Hopefully we accomplished that. Side events this year, the ecosystem really self-organized, and the Luma calendar was so full at one point. It was amazing to see. So thank you again to all of our community partners, and huge shout out to Shardog, all of the engagement that was created on social media and at the event. It was really fantastic. Next slide. And so finally, let's get into the news. Jack covered a bit of it, but I'm going to recap some of our biggest headlines. Next slide. So over 300 pieces garnered globally. That's huge. We had 20 plus media partners, top tier coverage, which you can see screenshots of the headlines featured in CoinDesk, The Block, Hacker Noon. Michael Casey and Ilya recorded Money Reimagined on the fly at NEARCON. It was really fantastic. And that week we had one of our bigger press dinners, super successful, 20 journalists. We had 20 people from the NEAR ecosystem attend, some fruitful conversations that I believe will really pay off in the future when we have more news to announce. And that session, I think it was on day 2 or day 3 with Mike Butcher, day 2 with Mike Butcher and Ilya, really fantastic. He's the editor at large of TechCrunch, the founder. NEAR is really starting to get bigger than just the crypto industry that we really much run in. So huge shout out there. And then last but not least, we had a successful Women in Web3 brunch. The Women in Web3 Changemakers list is continuously growing. The panel was really fruitful. It's an initiative that we're really excited to take off and see continuously grow. Next slide. And just a quick little picture here. Hopefully you attended Demo's session. It was really fantastic. Next slide. And last but not least, share a voice. So this is one of the biggest highlights I'm definitely proud of. We completely dominated crypto Twitter, 35% increase during and post NEARCON, 100% increase that we saw in raw tweet volume, which lasted for up to a week after NEARCON. We overtook Polygon, Avalanche, Immutable X, Aptos by a considerable margin. And we briefly took over Solana in raw Twitter volume on the 9th. So all in all, total share of voice peaked at about 17%, breaking ATH. Really, really huge, proud moment for us. Lots to be kind of just lots to really drive momentum and rally around. So huge shout out to Demo and that go-to-market team that really put a lot of effort. And of course, everyone who contributed. Next slide. And so I'll pass it over to Abby, who is going to dig into some of the data and the numbers behind NCon. As you already saw, we had over 6,000 transactions in the app. Again, that 250K number of NCon transacted. And we will announce our top 3 earners. You know, Food Truck and Jake gave competition a run for their money, but that number will be shared, or those winners will be shared very soon. So Abby, take it away.
Thanks, Yadira. NCon was a very special app. If you move to the next slide, D-Dubs, over 1,000 wallets participated in the little economy that we created. And if you were not scamming your friends, you could earn NCon in one of 2 ways. 1, by showing up. 2, by actually engaging with all of the bounties we had. It looks like 50% of you, about 500 wallets, engaged in bounties and earned about 37,000 NCon. So that's equivalent to about $37,000 US. That's big money. Thank you for that engagement. This all led to about 6,000 transactions going through the app, and it was seamless. And if you go to the next slide, you could spend your NCon in one of 4 ways, and no surprises here. Everybody chose the swag store. The swag store did about 55,000 NCon in revenue, which is 80% of all money spent. And we had 3 food trucks, and no surprises again. Pizza was everybody's favorite. Next slide. But I think the big win is NCon really got some conversation going in the near data space, and we had some amazing work come out of some amazing projects. Flipside delivered 3 dashboards that you should definitely check out. Pikes Peak has a very cool process mining perspective on just the flows of people through the conference, which is amazing. And of course, Shardog with their 14,000 wins, and the wallets that engaged with the Shardog NFTs did a total of 40,000 transactions over the 4 days of NEARCON, which is amazing. So shout out to the community. That's it for me. I'll pass it off to Nearweek.
Thank you very much, Abby. Please go on to the next slide. Hello, everyone. My name is Peter, and I represent Nearweek. And I can see that, is this not the right version? Well, anyway, so it's already been said that Near Foundation appointed Ilya Pulsukin as the CEO. We're very happy to see the Black Dragon back in the driver's seat and envisioning his vision for the open web. Furthermore, it has been announced Alex Kidanov, he has the NearTasks team, they're launching an AI marketplace, and this AI marketplace is set to redefine the way that we do data labeling, and we're really excited to see this happening on Near. As it also was mentioned before by Jack, Ilya Pulsukin has introduced a work in progress model for the AI governance. There are some rumors about a precedent. Maybe this precedent is set to rule or divide in the NDC. I think we're going to make it. If you haven't read the Proximity Labs thread on Near's drive towards chain abstraction, I highly encourage you all to do so. This is a succinct thesis of Near's new direction in a nutshell, especially focusing on how DeFi projects and builders can leverage the modular L1 to build chain-agnostic, interoperable platforms, and much more. So if you haven't already, I suggest you go follow Proximity and read their thesis immediately. Next one says Near X Polygon developing the CK WASM. Actually, I can see that the slides haven't been updated to what I just put in lastly, but I actually want to talk about Near X Layer 0. So Near partnered with Layer 0. It was announced during NearCon, and they're bringing the omnichain ecosystem to to Near. And Layer 0 is now seamlessly integrated into Near through Near's EVM layer Aurora. And this means unlocking access to more than 40 networks thanks to Layer 0's trustless omnichain. And Layer 0's endpoint on Near enables projects and developers to leverage its extensive network, creating opportunities for expansion and seamless cross-chain transaction. The open web is definitely coming. Next slide, please. I see we already mentioned these two, so I'm going to go straight to the Coin98 one. So I'm not sure if you all noticed, the multi-chain wallet and DeFi platform with more than 7 million users worldwide, they unveiled a decentralized dApp store on NEAR, connecting users across 70 chains and 15,000 dApps. So thanks to enhanced accessibility and discoverability, courtesy of the BOS, users can now explore major apps on Ethereum L2 ecosystems through a unified web and mobile interface. And Near DevHub, they, during NEARCON, introduced a decentralized DevRel program. So this unique initiative empowers individuals and projects to establish developer communities centered around Near. And the program's objective is to foster a robust developer community by supporting activities like tutorials, documentation, technical content creation, events, developer support, tool development, and educational collaborations. On top of that, Near DevHub has also just redesigned their landing page, and I suggest you go over and take a look at it. I really feel like the new website is very welcoming, and it's a great place to start your journey as a developer on Near. Lastly, I want to mention two things that were also mentioned at NEARCON. It's that Near and IDOS, they're propelling a robust identification and verification system. So a cutting edge identification system together with Fractal. IDOS stands as the identity operating system and will empower developers in the space to enable seamless on and off ramps, composable and permissionless integration with various protocols. And this is another step towards onboarding the masses and being more compliant in the space in general. And lastly, Octopus Network have built out their adaptive IPC bridging to Cosmos, and it's live, and they've integrated the secret network. And I'm super excited to see what Octopus Network will bring to the ecosystem and how they're leveraging the Cosmos technology in the future. So I would say it's fair to say that the open web tech stack is starting to shape up, and the future is indeed looking near. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, that's probably my cue to speak. Hi. Thank you, Peter, for the ecosystem highlights. I'm Maria from DevHub. I'm leading hackathons at the Near ecosystem. And I would like to thank everyone who showed up at the hackathon and beyond. I would like to thank our challenge sponsors, Sweat Economy, Aurora, Proximity, Calimero, and others, especially for the abstraction account bounty, which was also really popular. And I would like to thank our judges who managed to review 64 submissions in just a few days and ship our winners. So let's hop on to the next slide to see the key numbers and stats from the hackathon. So yeah, we indeed had a huge bounty pool. This is a unique hackathon. This is a showcase of our ecosystem. So every year we go big, and we had the record number of registered hackers, which resulted in 62 amazing submissions, which was 20% conversion rates. And thank you so much for your feedback about the hackathon venue. I also liked it so much. It brought the vibe of this, garage style, old school hackathon, and I enjoyed so much spending days in there. So without further ado, we would like to present some of the winners of this hackathon, not all of them, because for all of them, we wouldn't have enough time, unfortunately, but some of them we'll present today. They will show their pitches, they will show their demos. And as at the main stage of the hackathon, we will have only 3 minutes per project. So please be mindful of everyone's time. And let's start with the project called ClickDapp. Please welcome on stage. And can we please switch on to the next slide? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Rafael.
Hey, Rafael, welcome.
Hey. Hi, I'm the co-founder at Hackathon and ClickDapp. Hackathon is also the team behind OPEC Tickets, which is the first ZK app on here. And well, during the hackathon, we decided to build this new product, which is ClickDapp. Can you please move to the next slide? So since the beginning, the blockchain space has been mostly composed of developers and tech people. I myself am not a technical person. And well, can you please move to the next slide? And we started out in Near as a dev shop. We had tons of clients building, not just on Near, but mostly on Near. And we saw that they were facing some problems as non-technical developers and non-technical entrepreneurs, which are, please, next slide. A high cost of development, so it's really expensive to hire, especially Rust developers. A high cost of maintenance, so you don't just need to hire developers to build your product, but also to maintain it. And it's a slow product prototyping if you're hiring an external team to build the product for you, and also a slow product iteration. So once you have your project running, it is not that easy to make changes, and like small changes, even if it's just like copy on your website. So we decided to build a solution for that. So, please. So what if non-technical builders could create their application from scratch with no codes? And we decided to create ClickDapp, which is a Web3 code-free, so a codes for front-end building for Web3 applications. And basically, we started the proof of concept on ETH Lisbon 1 week before NEARCON, and this is where we built the first version of the proof of concept. And it's basically, we have this application called Plasmic Studio. It is a no-code builder that allows you to create your own React components to be added on top of the no-code builder. You do that through a app host, which is basically a GitHub repo that allows you to connect to the Near VM and import BOS components inside the Plasmic Studio. And basically what it allows you to do is to get any BOS components, add it to the Plasmic Studio, and then you can deploy your application just by with one click. And we received some feedbacks during ETH Lisbon Hackathon, and we decided to make the improvements for ClickDapp during the NEARCON Hackathon, which was basically we received feedbacks mostly for the composability of the components. So the components, they weren't communicating between each other on the front end, and they were also not customizable. So basically what you could do at that point was basically importing components. Please, next slide. And during the NEARCON Hackathon, we built this technology which we call VM Context. So it's basically a BOS standard that allows a secure front-end communication between different components. And we also make it possible to add CSS and HTML to the components that we import into ClickDapp. So the final result, I'm going to send you here in the chat so that you can check. We built a Liquidity application using a no-code builder that's fully deployed and is running on Ethereum blockchain just by using this no-code builder. And you can check it out, the application, in the link that I've sent in the chat. So I'm not sure if we have more time, but basically what you can do is render customized BOS components, share states between components, create and publish frontend with BOS. And in the future, we want to integrate other backend no-code tools such as Midbase and Orderly to make it possible to create complete business logicals for the DApps. So the key benefits, so we reduce the development and maintenance costs, facilitate the product prototyping, and reduce the barrier for Web3 builders, such as myself and most of Hackachain's clients. I think that's it. Not sure if we have more time.
Thank you so much. It's always some time for an amazing team of builders. Thank you so much for coming to NEARCON. If I'm not mistaken, you came all the way from Brazil, right?
Sorry?
To win. You came all the way from Brazil for
yeah,
the
we
hackathon,
came all the way
right?
from Brazil. This is the second hackathon we participated near. Last hackathon we built OPACT, which is still up and running on Near mainnet, and we expect to do the same with ClickDapp. We have some improvements to make on top of it, but in the next few months we're already talking to Near Horizon, to Banyan, to Builder DAOs, and I think we can make some good improvements on top of it to make it easy for anyone to build ADF using BOS components.
Thank you, Rafael. This was the winner of the Entrepreneurs Track. And by the way, all of the hackathon winners will be invited to Near Horizon cohort. So congratulations, bright future ahead, and future is near. Obviously, I cannot I cannot not say that. So the next project to present is called Magic Bill, coming all the way from Vietnam.
Yeah, hi. My name is Hai. I'm the co-founder of the Magic Bill. So let's jump into the first slide. So Magic Bill is a tool to have developers to make front end on boss faster without having to code. For currently, we have 3 products in Magic Bill, which is form builders, block builders, and boss composer. Next slide, please. So for the form builders, it's a powerful tool designed to streamline the process of generating front-end interface from smart contract on boss. So you have a smart contract with Magic Bill will automatically create the front end for you with just a few clicks. Next slide, please. For the block builders, you can create any boss component with the AI, like the navbar, menu bar, button, or form. Next slide. And our last product is Boss Composers. It's a tool that have created the wide connection with the Boss ecosystem. It's enable infinite scalability of Nest widget, increase the depth and resource utilization of the websites. So let's jump into the demo. So first of all, in the form builders, we type out the name of the contract. After that, we scan through the contract. It will show all the methods and the params of the contract. So after that, we can select the methods that we want to generate to the front end. After that, we can design. This is like the view of the front end, but we are called change the methods label, method class with the bootstrap. It will look better now. Moreover, we can customize with the CSS. So the developer is very flexible when they customize with Magic Bill. So moreover, with these features, the developer no need to code. It's called Magic Bill AI. Just write down your own magic prompt. Like I want to create modern style Christmas vibe, gradient background, stripe, border, red and green, and click to the magic style button. So all the wish came true. So it will generate to you like the awesome front end with any animations, background. After that, we can export to the widget. So let's see our showcase. One is rainbow NFT minter. So I'm gonna mint the NFT with the contract general. So let's check to the near blobs. So the NFT already minted. So showcase 2 is stacking with linear. So I'm gonna stack one near into the linear contract. Let's stack it. All right, one year is already stuck in the contract. So with our block builders, just write out like I want to create a menu bar or something like button, and we will using the AI to generate it as the front end. And our boss composers, we can choose different layout, add some blobs, widget. In here, we can add the exist widget or use our own export or just using the boss component. In here, I'm using the near digital collective headers, near foundation bottom, and our rainbow minter, NFT minters, and add some sidebar. After that, we can export to the complete front end. So overall, Magic Bill empowers developers and even regular individuals to easily to build the front end on boss without needing for coding. So we believe in motivating and inspiring developers to explore the possibilities of bots and unleash their creativity. With Magic Builds, we want to provide an user-friendly experience into the world of blockchain development and unlock the full potentials on their ideas on bots. And additionally, our goal is also to bring any dApps on layer 1, layer 2, like in optimism, algorithm, ZK and more on bots. So we will have something campaign like Thanos Snap, like to deploy.
Thank you. Hi, this is, I'm sorry, this is unfair to the other teams. They only get 5 minutes. Sorry. So I have to interrupt you. Thank you so much. I think we all believe in magic now. So you can actually build on Near using not just code, not just, bare hands like people used to do in 20th century, but you can also use magic powered by AI. Thank you so much. Hi, it's been a pleasure to have you. And next project that we would like to showcase is DeFi Builder, the winners of the pitching competition. So please welcome on stage.
Hey, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Daniel and I'm the CEO of DeFi Builder. Could you go to the next slide? And our goal with DeFi Builder is to finally turn Web3 into a no-coding experience for the next generation of Web3 entrepreneurs. So this, along with democratizing DeFi, is exactly what we're trying to do. The problems that we first encountered when we joined the market is that when we developed our team, we found very high costs for freelance developers, very low security because they were often not skilled in finding exploits, or they just had malicious intent towards their clients. Very long timelines, and it was also really hard to find skill-specific developers that could bring our custom ideas to life. The products that we have currently are our modular builder, which is an experience that is quite similar to WordPress, but for Web3. And this allows users through modules to launch DEXs, tokens, NFT collections, lending and borrowing platforms, and all of the other core DeFi services. DeFi Builder AI is exactly what we launched for Near as well, and that is working already in its first form. And it is our AI generation tool that allows users to generate smart contracts. And also in the future, we are implementing it through other tools that I will explain later in the pitch. We also have a module marketplace that will empower other developers to join our platform and build modules for us that will help them earn money as well. Our no-code modular builder is the first one that really allows people to deploy projects and front ends with no coding knowledge. And the way that it works is that it allows users to configure their modules for NFTs and DEXs and other features. They can customize their platform UI as well by adding their own color palette or custom graphical assets. They can deploy their project with ease with no coding knowledge at all on Solidity or React. And they can also manage afterwards their project, their farm emissions, their NFT staking features, and anything else that is related to their modules. The modules that we have right now, the primary ones are a custom token, Launchpad, and DEX, so users can get started right away with launching their token and having a DEX where they can trade it. For farms, we have standard farms, we have locked farms and revenue sharing pools. And for NFTs, we can build NFT collections, NFT minting pages, and NFT marketplaces. So we try to cover all of the core stuff on DeFi. And we have much more modules in the future. And as far as our AI software and the one that we submitted for the NEARCON Hackathon, it is a low-code solution at the moment that helps users generate contracts for Solidity and Rust chains. The way that it works is that it allows users to select their chain. They allow them to select a template for their module and customize it. So this applies again to DEXs, tokens, NFTs, and many more things. They can generate their contract easily. And in the future, we are working on auto deployment and verification of the contract. So our AI model can also make sure that the contract has no errors at all. And we are also working on generating front ends through our AI model from contract APIs. So we can have a full 360-degree AI tool that can help not just developers, but anyone to launch their project as fast as possible with the power of AI. As far as our roadmap goes, in the next 3 months, we are doing a lot of work to release our first version of the AI program and the unit test that will allow users to check the contracts for errors easily. We will also launch the first batch of 5 modules for our modular builder, and we are working on our company launch because we will turn this into a company. On the 5-month timeline, we will have our first VC fundraise, hopefully, and we're working very hard for this. And in the next 8 months, we will launch our module marketplace as well. Some of our competitors are doing something similar, but none of them have all of the features that we do, especially AI-related features, modular building, and the multi-chain operability that we have. And as far as our business model goes, it's quite flexible, but it's based on initial deployment fees for the modular builder, module royalties, and module marketplace royalties. And as far as the AI model, it's based on generation fees for the contracts and a further cost for the generation of front ends. Our team is very skilled, and we've been working together for over 3 years. At the moment, we have 8 full-time members, and we've managed to manage over $80 million in TVL across various chains and projects that we worked on in the past. And this is where you can find us. And I would also like to add that we've been participating into a lot of hackathons. We have 2 more coming in the next month. And we're also doing our first demo day with a lot of investment funds. So we're really trying to make this work as much as possible. And we're going to work hard on improving our project on Near as much as we can.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Amazing pitch. If you want to know more about our winners and projects in general for NEARCON IRL Hackathon, please go ahead and visit the dev post page for the hackathon, NEARCON-hackathon.devpost.com. We have a whole project gallery for you to review. And for the projects, don't hesitate to drop the links to your pitches and demos to the chat. So the last but not least, the winner of NEARCON IRL Hackathon, Team Obrigado. Please, let's see what you built.
Thank you. So hey everyone, my name is Igor. I'm a director of research and development in a company called Biomech, which builds a product called Cortex AI, which is basically Obrigado, our project, but it's in a centralized world. So that's where the idea basically came from. So Obrigado CC, which stands for Collective Compute, is a project that enables heavy compute on the Near ecosystem by utilizing idle computing resources. Next slide, please. So the current state of the Near ecosystem is such that frontend is being, let's say, covered by BOS. The backend is being covered by the smart contracts with WASM and ZK WASM. And if one would want to run a heavy computation, long-running jobs which don't fit into single transactions, that's a missing piece of the ecosystem. Next slide. So this is the current state of cloud market and demand. As we can see, it's been rising over the years. But not only that, the centralization of that cloud computing power is getting larger and larger. So all of the computing power is being distributed among a small amount of compute providers. Next slide. And not only that, but the predictions based on 17,000 reports claim that this market is not only going to grow in the next couple of years, but it's also going to stay fragmented. Next slide. So basically, we're trying to solve that. Obrigado aims to enable computing and running heavy compute tasks, such as training large neural networks using federated learning, processing large amounts of genomic data, or even drug discovery, just to name a few of those types of tasks, by distributing them among various customer task nodes. So anybody can connect their node and donate, let's say, their compute resources to the network. And Obrigado would schedule execution of these tasks across all of that network. The core point is that these task nodes would have economic incentive to first act honestly and fairly in the network, submit correct results, and also participate because they're going to get paid for paid bounties for executing these pieces of tasks. Next slide. So with Obrigado, heavy compute is near. And I would extend to say that AI is also near because one of these heavy compute jobs would be a federated learning AI jobs. So it's being truly decentralized, it's seamless to connect and donate and earn, and it's also cost effective because it effectively breaks the monopoly of big cloud providers. Next slide, please. So yeah, regarding our roadmap, during the hackathon, we managed to launch the contract on the Near testnet, and it's fully functional. We managed to launch the front end on BOS, and that's fully functional. It can be a little bit more beautiful though, but it's there. For the next couple of months, we're planning to very intensely work and continue working on improving the security and the privacy of these executor nodes, because currently they're running basically on the host ecosystem. We want to kind of sandbox that. We want to improve the workflow and the UX for all of the job submitters. So we want to allow a bunch more of these parameters and types of jobs to be run. And right now we support only Python tasks, and we want to extend that to be generic bash runnable. So anything that you can run in terminal on Linux, you can run inside of Obrigado. Next slide, please. This is the team that made it all happen. So we all come from, it's 5 of us. We all come from different countries with different backgrounds. Some of us, as already mentioned, work in even big cloud providers and provide centralized solutions for this kind of problem. So we do have some background and some experience in this. Next slide, please. And yeah, what we're going to see very briefly, the top part is going to show one client submitting a job to be executed and determining the bounty. And the bottom part of the screen is going to show two running nodes observing the queue on the near chain. And then as soon as the job is submitted, they're going to pull that job and start working on it. So you can go to the video. Yeah, so on the top, you see a job submitter going to submit a task, connecting the Near wallet, specifying the location where the workspace is located, and indicating that they are willing to pay 10 Near for this job to be executed in the Obrigado system. As soon as that transaction goes through, the bottom part shows that left node is quicker to pick up that task, starts processing it, submits the result, and commits the hash of that result to the chain. When the second node on the right does the same thing, the on-chain verification of the result is performed, and if you observe the balances after refreshing, they're going to increase slightly. So that basically means that those two nodes got paid for executing a job, and in this case, each one got paid 5 Near. And right now, there's just 2 nodes running this system, but in the future, very near future, you'll see thousands of them, and all of them are going to be running on Near. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Igor, for finishing perfectly on time. I think this was all the showcase of NEARCON IRL Hackathon. And if you want to participate in more hackathons, please subscribe to DevHub Twitter, visit our board, host a hackathon in your city. We have a plug-and-play solution for that. And we're looking forward to hosting our very first Capture the Flag challenge in December. We will have weekly puzzles and challenges for the beginning hackers, not as experienced as the one that presented here, but everyone needs to start somewhere, right? So DevHub is the right place to start if you just start coding on Near. Thank you so much for this town hall, and thank you so much for coming and listening to us. And see you in Lisbon very soon, probably next year. Not sure if in Lisbon. Sorry for spoiling. But see you on DevHub board pretty much every day, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming here. It's been an amazing town hall, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Have a great day.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Goodbye.